Hello, and welcome to our IT Expo demonstration. Today, we will be talking about SharePoint and SQL Server and how these tools can greatly benefit a business. Just to start off with, this is our computer name here, SRV001, and our domain of AASECURITY.com. This is an example of how the SharePoint graphical user interface looks. Within here, you can configure things such as application management, system settings, backup and restore, and updates and migration. These are only just a handful of the tools you can use within SharePoint, and there are many more. Here we have our MS SQL database that we have connected to our SharePoint server. As you can see here, SRV001, and this is the name of our database here, SQL Express. Now, to talk a little bit more about SharePoint. SharePoint is a highly customizable cloud-based content collaboration and management platform that can help your team work remotely and work together. SharePoint is a content management platform that encourages collaboration among teams regardless of where they are in the world. SharePoint allows you to manage all of your corporate content, create websites and company intranets to keep your users informed on what's happening, create business processes to automate some of your everyday tasks, and build customized apps that can help your teams become more productive. SharePoint comes with several built-in security features, such as the ability to limit who outside your organization can see your content, set permissions on who in your organization has access to certain things, create policies to allow or block certain user behavior, and allow or block your team's access to content based on their locations. When deployed as part of Office 365, SharePoint creates a virtual workspace that allows teams to meet, complete tasks, and collaborate with one another. Your documents reside in one shared place that can be accessed from any device at any time. Real-time co-authoring capabilities mean that multiple employees can work on the same document at the same time. SharePoint will always show the latest version of a document, with the option to revert to an earlier version if needed. Team members and leaders can set up individual or group tasks, assign tasks to other team members, monitor which tasks have been completed, and reveal any dependent relationship between tasks. These are just a few of the benefits that SharePoint provides. SharePoint sits on top of the SQL server. The SQL server is essentially the back end of SharePoint. All of the user content goes into the SQL server databases, specifically ones called SharePoint content databases. These databases are almost always on a dedicated machine because SQL Server is a demanding application that requires a lot of resources and minimum latency to perform optimally for SharePoint to work. For that reason, SharePoint is typically not installed on your database servers, which is okay because it doesn't need to be. SharePoint only needs to know where the databases go. I'm just going to give you an example here of a little diagram. Here is an example of how an end user interacts with a database. The user clicks on the file, SharePoint then requests the file, the SQL server locates and returns the file, and the file is then sent back to SharePoint and provided to the end user. Another example of this would be how an end user interacts with the application server. The user enters their search parameters. The parameters are then passed on to the application server. The application server then sends those results back to SharePoint and provides them to the end user. One of the biggest advantages of using a database management system is that it lets end users and application programmers access and use the same data while maintaining data integrity. Data is better protected and maintained when it can be shared using a database management system instead of creating new iterations of the same data stored in new files for every new application. The database management system provides a central store of data that can be accessed by multiple users in a controlled manner. When a database management system is used, systems can be modified much more easily when business requirements change. New categories of data can be added to the database without disrupting the existing system, and applications can be insulated from how data is structured and stored. An advantage of database management systems is that it helps create an environment in which end users have better access to more and better managed data. This access makes it possible for end users to respond quickly to changes within their environment. The more users access the data, the greater the risks of data security breaches. Corporations invest considerable amounts of time, effort, and money to ensure that corporate data are used properly. The database management system provides a framework for better enforcement of data privacy and security policies. The availability of data, combined with the tools that transform data into usable information, empowers end users to make quick, informed decisions that can make the difference between success and failure within a business scenario. So just for an example, this is the database's location here within SharePoint, application management, databases, and here we can manage our content databases. That concludes our demonstration of SharePoint and SQL Server. Thank you for watching.